Hello and welcome to the weekly wonders of the Chris Evans Brekkie Show Best Bits. This week, incredible BAFTA award-winning actress Emily Watson stops by to tell us about her gripping new drama, Apple Tree Yard, set to take over Sunday nights on BBC One. The marvellous Michelle Collins tells us about treading the boards in the UK tour of Thoroughly Modern Millie. And Right Said Fred perform new music from their album, Exactly, live in the studio. Oh, and then there's me, Tom Daley. I dive into the studio to tell Chris about my new book, Tom's Daily Plan, which is out now.
The Chris Evans Breakfast Show.
Right, Michelle, can we have Tom's intro, please? Tom Daley's here, go on.
Diving into the action now is a British Olympic medal winner who at 22 years old has won multiple European and world titles, competed at three Olympic Games and become a TV personality. Here to tell us about the new book that will help you eat well and exercise effortlessly. It's a terrific Tom Daley.
Not such a terrific introduction.
Sorry, I didn't have my glasses on, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I wondered whether you needed glasses for that, Michelle. I was going to say. Anyway, Tom, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very well. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, you too.
How great is Michelle Collins?
Great. And that was such a... I like that intro.
sorry,
It was all
Thank
right.
you.
It's very live.
It was good, yeah, it was very live. I liked
Okay,
it.
now and again, we need to prove that we're live, and Michelle just did that for us. so to Tom's right, you have lovely Michelle. Tom, this is Lynn Bowles,
Hello, how are you?
travel lady.
Good.
Travelling.
Traveller.
Now, Tom has this new book out. It's three for the price of one, Lynn.
Tell me more.
Because it's Tom Daley's Daily Plan, and this is about what to eat, how to cook it, because he loves all that. All right. It's about a bit of exercise if you need a bit, a lot of exercise if you need a lot, and also what to do in between, a bit of life coaching. Well done, Tom. This is a great book. It's a great read.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun to put it together, actually. It all started from my YouTube channel because I started doing workouts online, and then it became life tips and things like that. But it's got 80 recipes, workouts that only take 20 minutes, no equipment, you don't need anything, no gym membership, and also mindfulness and goal setting and anxiety tips and everything like that too.
Okay, and there's never been a book like this before. Nobody's ever thought to combine all these three things. They try and stretch them out to one book each. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you need a bit of everything because everyone in January, if you think, I want to go on a diet, the word diet automatically sets you up for, I'm going to cheat on this day or I'm going to do this. Whereas just changing it to make it a healthy lifestyle makes
Is
a
it
big
good for
difference.
old people? Like,
For everyone. For everyone. It's like all fitness levels. If you like all the kind of foods that you like, there's vegetarian things in there. There's, non-vegetarian things in there too. But there's so many different things. There's lots of breakfast as well. I'm a big fan of breakfast.
Now, you've had to learn to cook because you've had to stay away from processed food because of what you do for a living and you're on the road a lot. But you've always loved cooking. So who inspired you at home as a kid to cook?
Yeah, I've always loved cooking. I can remember going to my grandma and granddad's house whenever we used to go over there. We always used to bake cakes, me and my brothers, and argue over who got to lick the bowl and all that kind of stuff. Of course, because that's what you do. And then it went to, my grandma taught me how to make soup, and then on to pasta bake, and to the point where the pasta bake recipes are actually in the book. And then when I was 16, I went to cookery school as well. And it's one of those things that, as an athlete, food is fuel. And I think for lots of people, they don't really realise that if you eat the right things, it doesn't just fuel your body, but it also fuels your brain for the day as well.
Yeah, what's great about cooking is, of course, it's a great way of switching off, a great way of just relaxing, great therapy. But especially if at the end of it you get a fantastic, tasty product that's good for you as well.
Yeah.
So yours is like a sort of triple win, isn't it, really?
It's all the things that are really easy and accessible as well. And it's not just like a boiled piece of chicken and steamed broccoli. It's things that you actually really want to eat. And all the ingredients, you don't need to go to a specialist store. You don't even need to go to a big supermarket. You can just go to your local corner shop as well to go and get all the ingredients.
Let's talk about that cooking again. Let's talk about licking the bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
oh, I remember that.
Well, hang on. Did you lick
Yeah,
the bowl?
I
Well, hang on. Here's a question. Did you? Because I wasn't a bowl licker. I was a spoon licker.
Yeah.
My
no.
sister got the bowl and I got the spoon.
I used to put my finger around the edges of
Did
the
you?
Yeah.
bowl, and then my sister would get really annoyed and she'd push me away and then she'd stick her finger in as
The
well.
issue is that you only ever put like 2/3 of the mixture actually in the oven, don't you? And they save the rest to eat it.
It's nice unbaked often,
I
isn't it?
know, it is. It
All
is.
right, so what's the first? So the first thing you learned to cook properly was cakes.
Yeah.
If we all came round, if the team and myself and Lynn and Michelle came round one night without our partners,
Yeah.
one of those kind of things, and we came to annoy you at your house,
Yes.
what would your showstopper be?
Well, there's a couple that I would do. I do some good fajitas, but then also I've got these things that like phyllo pastry parcels with chicken, mozzarella, pesto,
When are we
sun-dried
coming? When do you want
tomatoes.
us round?
Yeah, no, they're really good. And they're easy as well.
Okay, when can we come?
Well, you can come round tonight if you want.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're doing dry January, by the way.
Are you? I did dry 2 years before the
Yeah, I know you
Olympics. So yeah,
you're not doing it.
You know, it's one of those. The first 3 weeks are the hardest, and then after that, you just feel so much better. And you know, for me, I'd rather eat my calories than drink them because you have to think of a glass of wine as a donut.
But you're allowed a shandy now, though, aren't you?
Really? Not quite.
Yeah.
Donut, really?
Yeah, it's a like similar amount of calories. If you think of each glass of wine that you're having, it's quite a lot of calories.
It's crazy, isn't
Oh.
it? Would you like,
Sorry
round
to,
of applause
like,
for Tommy.
do that.
Let's just give Tom a round of applause anyway. Okay, thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom, for being here. Thank you for making sense of this show. Now, I'm too sexy for my shirt. It could have been written about Tom Daley, couldn't it?
Absolutely.
Because he
absolutely.
barely.
Tom wasn't born then.
That was
Were you
my
born?
karaoke song growing up. That.
Were you
How
born?
old
How
is?
are you?
How old are you? Tom?
22.
Too.
You weren't even born.
No, you weren't, love.
No.
The
But
weird.
he was in the universe
You always
somewhere.
know that. Everyone knows that song.
He was in the universe
I know,
somewhere,
but
and
I'm
now
just-
part of the
it's just
universe
funny that
is
you
in
weren't-
him. So you love that? Is that right up there?
Yeah, that was like one of my karaoke songs growing up.
Okay, and
Like legit.
percentage-wise, since you started diving. By the way, when was the first time you ever took your first dive?
I was 7.
Okay, and where was it?
In Plymouth,
Okay,
where I grew up.
was it a pool? Was it the sea? Was it a puddle?
Well, no, I started swimming from the age.
Puddle.
Well, yeah, maybe a puddle. But for the age of 4, I started swimming because my parents, you know, I lived in Plymouth, water safety and all that. But then I just saw the diving board, so I give it a go, and I was 7. And
So this is from a diving board.
yeah, from a diving board when I was 7.
How high was the board? 3 meters.
It was only like side off pool side, and then gradually I jumped off 10 meter when I was 8. Was the
Okay,
first time I did
let's
that.
get back to that first moment. The first moment Tom Daley ever done, because that's quite a seminal moment. Did you tell your parents? Did you sneak up there? Did the lifeguards? Were they worried? Did you just do it anyway? Did you get in trouble afterwards?
Oh no, because I saw people diving, I said to my dad at the time, I was like, I need to go and dive. Like that looks like the most
need
fun
to
ever.
dive. I need
And then so then we used to go every Saturday morning. It was like my favourite thing. I used to look forward to every week. I was like, get out of bed, we need to go. And yeah, then I was diving every week and it went from there.
So from the age of 7 to the
Yeah.
age of 22, where we are presently, as
Yes.
far as you're concerned, what percentage of your waking hours have you not had your shirt on for?
I mean, yeah, I feel like, you know, obviously I spend a lot of time half naked running around a pool, but it's not very often you can say that I wear more to bed than I do to work.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, and on that dramatic-
bombshell.
Sorry, I just took it into the gutter.
No, that's good. I like that. Okay, so Tom's with the right said Fred. They've broken their duck as far as this show's concerned. 3 more tracks, boys.
Yes,
You
indeed.
ready for that? Michelle, you going to stick around?
Yes, please. Can I stay next to Tom?
Emily Watson's going to join us next. We love Emily Watson. Tom Daley's with us now. Tom has the intro to our next guest
Yes.
because Michelle messed the last one. So
It was a live moment.
I'm never going to give her that job again. Tom,
No
over to you.
pressure. Joining us in the studio now is a BAFTA award-winning actress who's gripped audiences with her roles in Warhorse and The Theory of Everything. Here to tell us how she's taking over Sunday night TV in BBC One's new drama, Apple Tree Yard, it's the incredible Emily Watson!
Emily Watson, and it's called Apple Tree Yard, and it's her birthday tomorrow. Dare we say which one it is?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Okay, big 5-0 tomorrow, Emily. What are you doing to celebrate, or have you already done?
I've already had a party. I got quietly trolleyed upstairs in my local pub with all my best friends.
When was that?
That was last week.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're not part of Dry January then?
No, and I ruined it for a lot of people I know as well.
I'm sure they won't mind. You were their excuse because I'm dry Januarying and I'm looking for a big excuse this week, just in case anybody's out there. Right, said Fred. Right, said Fred. What are you going to play for us next?
This is the new single, Sweet Treats, but it's a slightly different version, obviously, because we're here. And before we do it, we have some little things, treats and things that we want to hand out.
Jelly beans?
Yes, can I do that?
Fast sugar,
I
energy
do-
bombs, Tom. We need
No,
this
these are-
as athletes.
These
Gives us
are
a bit of a kick, won't it?
these are gluten free.
Yes.
No, truly, they're gluten free, and they are. What's the other thing? They're not. They're
not
They're
sugar-free.
not nice.
I'm marginless me.
It's all sugar anyway.
There's enough to feed the whole of Europe.
It says jelly beans.
Oh, yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Oh, there's a...
This is
Yeah, yeah.
heavy.
So this is Sweet Treats, brand new
is Sweet
single,
Treats,
out
yeah,
on the
yeah.
24th of Feb with the brand new album.
Yeah.
Here we go. Right, said Fred, live
Okay.
on your radio.
Yum, yum, yum.
Sugar, sugar.
That was great. Well done. And now, during the last record, what were we talking about? We're talking about age, because it's Emily's birthday tomorrow, and she's given us free permission, a pink ticket to mention the fact that she's 50 tomorrow. You look amazing. Michelle Collins, I could tell you her age. She probably whacked me around the head with a baseball bat. But I don't know why, because she looks unbelievable. However, I've got to say, and I'm not going to mention your age, guys, but I've got
So
to say,
between us all,
during this conversation,
300?
Thank you for
the
that.
Right Said Fred boys piped up about their ages, and that is... I mean, I'm not sure that you're actually human flesh, and I can't believe you're as old as you claim to be.
I've been pickled for some years now.
Well, it must be the way forward. Well done, everyone, for looking so much younger than you are, and Tom just for looking gorgeous anyhow.
Exactly.
And by the way, you're always going to look like this,
between
aren't
two.
you?
Well, no, I'm like
You
the
are.
granddad of diving. I'm getting on.
Oh, shut up.
No,
You're
I am.
22. Get out of
I
here.
am.
He needs to leave. Can you give him a can of Fanta and tell him to go? Thank you. Right, 4 to 9. And they have been dishing out some sweeties for us to go along with the theme of their new single, Sweet Treats. What have you gone for? Anybody gone for anything particular?
Just a
Love
few. It's like a
hearts.
whole, bag full.
Flying saucers.
Flying saucers.
I love a flying
Oh, the
saucer.
flying saucer.
Jelly
Do you remember
beans.
those?
They used to
Jelly
be my
babies.
favourite. Like, whenever we used to go shopping, it was always like I always had to eat a bag of flying saucers as we were going round.
I always
Sat in
used
the
to do
trolley.
the Holy Communion with flying saucers.
Oh, yes.
Body of Christ. Because I've never taken Holy Communion, and I was
No.
I'm a wannabe Holy Communion kind of person. Anybody taken Holy Communion?
no.
No, I never have. No.
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 Do you remember?
Look at us.
Do you remember confirmation? The whole thing. If you're C of E, it was confirmation.
Yeah, when you were
Remember
11.
that? Yeah, when you're 11. Yeah,
Never
exactly.
happened to, and I was CV, and that never happened to me either.
I never got confirmation. It was like you were a rumour up until you were confirmed.
I've been waiting for confirmation ever since, I'll be honest with you. All right, so Emily's with us. Emily Watson's with us. We've got Michelle Collins here. Tom Daley's here. We've got Right Said Fred here. But most importantly, of course, as always, we have you here. Questions from our guests to our guests. All right, now, Tom, you've done a bit of this before. You know about interviewing people.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, a little bit.
There's no such thing as a bad answer, only a bad question. No pressure, guys. Okay. Look, the girls have already got their arms folded. They're very...
I know. They're like already.
Body language.
These are the actresses who used to be given their lines, but okay, let's see if they can come up with some themselves. Questions from our guest to our guest. Tom, you lead the charge. Who do you
Okay.
want to ask?
Well, it's kind of directed to everyone, really, because I know that there's one moment in my career where I felt like this can't be happening. And that, for me, was in Beijing 2008. Walked to the end of the board, looked down, you see the Olympic rings on the bottom of the pool. And that, for me, was like a moment where I was like, I can't believe this
By the
isn't
way,
happening.
little ripple for that. Little ripple for that.
But I was just wondering, for everyone, if there was a moment in your career where you thought, I can't believe this is happening right now. Like it felt like a
Great.
dream or felt like it wasn't.
It's the tipping point, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the moment of realization. I have arrived. This is what it's all been about. Why on earth did
Yeah,
I?
exactly.
Why did I do this?
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
Yes, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
And of course, after you overcome that moment, that's when it you can
All
breathe a little
starts.
easier,
Yeah,
can't
exactly,
you?
exactly.
Okay, great, brilliant question, Emily. Your moment.
I have a moment when my first ever film was at the Cannes Film Festival. And it's the most incredible theatre of film. It's sort of, a cinema that's as big as the screen's as big as a house, and there are thousands and thousands of people there. I'd never done any press before in my life. I was completely green. I just no idea what was going on. And I remember sitting in the cinema, and there's this they play this special music, and the lights go down. And this was the film Breaking the Waves, and a French actor, Jean-Marc Barr, who's in the movie, was sitting behind me. And he leant down and he whispered in my ear, he said, "Emily, your life is about to change forever." As the lights went down.
Wow.
And it was true. I mean, it was the moment that everything happened for me in my career. And it's kind of seared into my...
Yeah. I think that,
Bloodstream.
a moment like that does stick with you forever.
I think the best question has ever been asked by anyone, including me on this programme, which is very depressing. I've been doing this for 7 years. Michelle.
Oh God. I mean, it's difficult. I'm not sure that I've had that moment yet. I mean, I do feel very sick when I go on stage for the very first time. This awful feeling of why do I do this? And then when you're over it, you just think, oh my God, it was fine. It was okay. I've got through it. And also, actually, I do remember when I first left EastEnders and I did a drama called Real Women, and as we all know, it's all about ratings, and it was with Francis Barber, Leslie Manville, Pauline Quirk, Gwyneth Strong, a really great cast. And I remember it was the overnights, and I was at the gym on the jogging machine, and my agent, as in the ratings, and so this was my big thing from leaving EastEnders, and had I made the right decision? And my agent called and left a message, said, call me back, and called them back, and it got something like 9 million, which was just amazing. And it was like, because your fear is it's going to be a flop and no one's going to watch it. So it sort of made me think, it was the right decision to go.
Okay, Richard, on behalf of Right Said Fred,
Yes.
your moment, please, if you don't mind.
It was I remember it really clearly. We were in Miami. Do you remember? We hired a Thunderbird, I think, didn't we? And we went for a drive because the first time we made any proper money. And we went for a drive and we turned the radio on. And we just turned on as they were doing the countdown, the charts, and in America, in Miami, and the guy said, "This is America's #1." Right Said Fred.
Wow!
And
That's got to top
was pretty cool.
everybody.
Good.
Wow!
That was pretty cool.
So what did you do, the second afterwards?
It was the thing back in that time. It was kind of like being in the eye of a storm. We didn't really enjoy it in a funny kind of way. It was. You're so busy being what you've become. You don't really have the chance to stand back and think, actually, this is really cool. And we're much happier now than we ever were back then.
But it's funny because those moments, not only are you sometimes busy getting on with it to the extent that you can't sort of enjoy it, if you like, and also it's not really our right to enjoy it. It's for the audience to enjoy it. That's that thing.
Exactly.
But also, I think, as far as those particular moments are concerned, if it is happening to you at the time, you don't have the ability, the point of view to see it for what it is.
No, you can't see it.
And also, those moments are often so pressurised, like Emily's moment, like Tom's moment. They're not enjoyable anyway, because enjoyment isn't part of the scenario.
That's right.
It's
exactly.
just, and that sort of it goes back to your question, Tom. It's not about the most enjoyable moment. It's the specific moment when you realise this is what you've trained for, or what you've wished for, or what you've dreamt about. And I think it's funny that you came up with a question, because I think, as far as you're concerned, we are generally in our business. Right Said Fred could have had one of many songs that became a hit in one of many countries, and Michelle could have been in one or two productions, either live theatre or on film or on TV. Similarly for Emily, but yours was always about the Olympics, wasn't it? Which is a real moment. That's what, because yours is so identifiable and defined.
You train for 6 hours a day, 6 days a week for 4 years, and you get that one moment. Exactly. There's no second take. You have to perform on that one day, and if you mess it up, then you have to wait another 4 years.
Oh.
And also, what is dissimilar as far as your experience is concerned to the rest of us is we didn't know when that moment was going to come, and you always did.
Yeah,
I think it's scarier knowing when it's going to happen, because you get time to prepare for it, but you do all that preparation, like building into it, but then it's that one moment, and it's just like, and the one thing that you've always got to be is just be in that moment and be right where you are right now, not worry about what's gone in the past, and not get too far ahead of yourself. Just focus on what you're doing right now.
And the thing about diving is it's just over so quickly, isn't it? If you're a golfer, you've got 4 days, hopefully. You've got loads of shots. If you're a footballer, you've got 92 passes. You might get subbed. You might get a lucky deflection somewhere. But the diving is insane, isn't it? It's an insane thing to do to yourself, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you hit the water at 35 miles an hour. It's 1.6 seconds per dive. So it's pretty much over the same speed as the 100-metre final, really. Wow. So it's, the height of 2 double-decker buses and half a car piled on top of each other.
And so much can happen, both good and bad, during that 1.6 seconds.
Yeah.
I once jumped off the top deck of a boat. I mean, it was not the same.
I was going to say, that sounds fun.
I've sort of been there in my little way.
Yeah.
And what's funny, the higher you get, have you ever dived off anything quite high, Emily? What about you, Michelle?
No, I'm not.
Okay, Richard.
No.
Okay, Tom, back me up on this one. I can't believe I'm asking Tom to back me up. Okay, here's what happens, right? When you go higher than you usually you would to jump into some water, normally what happens is it's about beats. You jump, you splash, right?
When you belly flop.
When you go, whatever. When you go high, you jump. Nothing happens.
I know, it's like that
Hang on a
anticipation
minute.
to hit.
There's supposed to be a splash now, and then there's this whole void where your life comes back to say hello to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really weird, and there isn't a day that I stand on 10 metre where I'm not scared or worried about what might happen, because you get this same adrenaline
Really,
rush.
still you get scared?
Yeah, and I think the day that I am not scared or don't have that adrenaline, that's when you
You
make
give up.
mistakes
Yes.
because you
That was going to be
don't
my
have
question.
Yeah.
Feel about
was
fear.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Bugger.
We are now, because that was such a... I think we'll just leave it at that one question. That was such a great question,
that's a
Tom.
good
Thanks
question,
so much for that. By the way, so much looking forward to Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire.
Oh, yes. I like that song.
This could be that moment that Tom was talking about.
yes.
We shall see. Right, Emily, say after me. Say after me, you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
I swear
I swear
by the almighty BBC
by the almighty BBC
that I didn't mean to say that naughty word that I said.
that I did not mean to say that naughty word that
I meant to
said.
say bother.
I meant to say bother.
Is that okay as a creative apology?
And
Okay, I
I'm
had to...
really sorry.
I had to do that for compliance purposes. Okay, that's the best I could do it. Is that
It's
all right?
always actors that do it,
Thank
isn't
you.
it? We can't help ourselves.
Because you haven't got your script in front of you.
I'm really sorry.
Gee whiz. That's not a problem. No, we do apologise for that. The lovely Michelle Collins. What is Michelle up to, Tom Daley?
Michelle Collins will see Michelle on stage across the UK in Thoroughly Modern Millie, starting the new theatre in Wimbledon on Tuesday, 17th of January. She then stars in The Dark Knight in Dalston at the Park Theatre in North London from 7th of March.
Thank you, Tom. And Emily Watson, what's Tom up to?
So, Tom's new book, Tom's Daily Plan, is out now.
Rock and roll. Emily Watson's with us. Right, said Fred. What's Emily up to?
You can watch Emily Watson in a gripping 4-part thriller called Apple Tree Yard, which starts on Sunday the 22nd of January at 9 p.m. on BBC One.
All right, massive round of applause for the guys who worked hardest. Right, said Fred this morning. Michelle Collins, what are these guys up to?
Right Said Fred are back with their 9th studio album, Exactly, which is out on the 24th of February.